Hello everyone and welcome to Mental Health Moments. If you are new to our channel, let me explain that we are primarily a discussion starter for everything that has to do with mental health issues. We work to bring together on this channel the spiritual, the mental, and the practical in a way that we hope makes sense and prompts the listener to begin to dig in a little bit deeper to find the help that they may be needing on the subjects that we deal with. The topic this time is one of those that many may not have heard of, but I tell you, it is definitely something that you have dealt with somewhere along the way. I think it'll be worth your time. Stick with us. We'll be right back. And welcome back. If you are a regular here, we're happy to have you back. And if you are new to our channel, we welcome you. We invite you to feel free to please browse all of our content. At this time, we are a relatively new channel. We only have 12 videos available, so it shouldn't take you that long to browse everything that we've already presented. The topic this time is one that is connected to one of the most requested subjects that we've had since we began this channel. When we started, we asked everyone, what would you like to hear about? Because we definitely want to be relevant and meaningful. And one of the most requested topics was narcissism and narcissistic behavior. I can't tell you how many people requested that, and I promise you that we will be getting into that. But in my studies for that, I found this as a fascinating subtopic to that. Tonight, I want to talk with you about reactive abuse. Reactive abuse. Maybe you've never heard of that, and so the question is, what is it? Let me explain it. Reactive abuse is when one person has been the target of another person's abusive behaviors, and then at some point they respond and retaliate. Then when they do, the person who was the original abuser then flips the script and plays the role of the victim. They play the role of the victim in the situation, and the person who was now the victim of their abuse is now considered to be the abuser. It is simple, but it is amazingly profound and ridiculous, as it involves gaslighting and manipulation, and can leave the original victim in a state of confusion, as that they now consider that they may be the ones at fault. And they feel that now, perhaps, they need to apologize for their behavior, when none of it would have happened at all if the original abuser had not done whatever it was that they did. And now, that person holds the behavior over the head of the real victim, and it gives them proof, they say, that this person is unstable and aggressive, mentally ill or delusional. And this needs to be said. This is a very real thing. It happens constantly. Gaslighting is a very real thing. Maybe at some point we'll do another video on gaslighting. But this needs to be said. Having a physical, verbal, or an expressive outburst during an abusive event is nothing that you should be ashamed of. Obviously, we don't condone violence, but we do condone preserving and protecting yourself. It is a natural defense mechanism that you can employ to protect yourself against some kind of danger or harm. And if it's happened to you in the past, or it is happening to you right now, obviously we're sorry that it is happening. We hope that what we give you here will help you, and that maybe something that we say will kind of alert you to its reality, because you may have thought that you were doing something wrong, and this needs to be said that you are not. Now, quickly, it's not the same as mutual abuse. Reactive abuse is not the same as mutual abuse. Typically, in mutual abuse, what you have is that both of the people display the same behaviors toward one another, and they continue those behaviors back and forth with one another. But in reactive abuse, the original behavior was all one-sided until the victim responded, and now the abuser begins to play the role of the victim. So the question is, how do we stop it? As we often do in this channel, we like to provide you with very short, succinct, brief information on how to stop something that's happening. So let me give you just a couple of things. Number one is that you simply refuse to respond to or acknowledge any interaction that they try or attempt to have with you. In other words, you just simply cut them off. Now, I know someone out there is saying, well, that's easier said than done, and I absolutely agree with you. We almost always want to engage someone to try to resolve something, but unfortunately there are people sometimes who don't want resolution. What they want is continuation. I'm going to say that again because it's important. They don't want resolution, they want continuation, and when you disconnect from them, you take away their ability to dominate and control. You need to remember this, that sometimes it's true that you cannot reason with an unreasonable person. And when someone is aggressive and they are an abuser and they are determined to abuse you, they have or they continue to, then you must simply cut them off. You may find that at some point in the future you may be able to reconnect and re-engage with that person to help resolve that, but listen, it has to be on your terms, not theirs. On your terms, not theirs, and if they are still not agreeable, then once again stop the interaction. Number 2, seek out a friend or a professional that you can talk to. So many times abusers count on the fact that victims will remain silent. And oftentimes victims do, and especially in a situation like this. In reactive abuse, when the person has finally had enough and they respond, then the person gaslights them and says, well, see, this is your fault. You did this. It can bully them into silence, and they don't talk to someone, they don't share it, and in doing that, they perpetuate the scenario itself. Take the time to create space for yourself. Step off and provide yourself with self-care. Number 3, let me say that. Provide yourself with space and self-care. That's very important. I'm a huge fan of that. I'm a huge fan of taking care of yourself and finding whatever space and time you need to do some research, some reflection, and spend time with yourself. And those 3 things together will get the help started. As is the case in all of our discussions, we ask you this: what are your thoughts? Have you encountered this? Is this a real thing? Has it happened? Is it happening now? Does it continue? And if so, if you wouldn't mind in the comments, or I'll provide our email address, you can send it to me privately. What have you done? If you're in a situation where you might need help right now, we will provide some links for you to be able to reach out and get the help that you need. We are providing those links constantly, but we would love to know and hear your thoughts. So tonight, the subject has been reactive abuse. If you would, leave your comments there in the comment section. Maybe someone will read those and it will be helpful to someone who needs to hear that. We appreciate you taking the time to be with us. We hope that all of these videos are helpful to you. If you are a subscriber, we're glad to have you along. If you are not and you wouldn't mind, subscribe, push the notification button so that we can let you know when these videos happen. Every Sunday night at 7 o'clock, we send out a new content, and we hope that it is helpful to you. And if you don't mind, if you think it's important for someone, please share. Please share this video and let somebody know that it is there. We appreciate you being there. We look forward to talking with you next time right here on Mental Health Moments.